We have a bunch of stuff to go through here in today's video regarding Modern Warfare 2's gameplay and movement system. A bunch of details coming out for this mode. If you guys are new, would like to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. We're grinding our way towards 94k on the channel, and be sure to drop a like on the video as well. And quick reminder, I'm still doing that MW2 Vault Edition giveaway over my Twitter. Links will be down below. Before we get into some info, I want to talk to you guys about a new game releasing, Nemesis Distress. It's available on Steam. It just came out, and there's a lot going on here. Pretty much, it's a unique multiplayer sci-fi horror experience that aims at creating unforgettable cinematic moments. Keep in mind, though, this is not a typical shooter. You are not the hunter in this game. You are the prey. Your goal in this game is to survive, complete your secret objective, as well as your main mission. You'll be sneaking around the expansive and immersive ship, where you'll find a ton of useful items to help you. You'll be able to take advantage of the noise mechanic and also discover all little different tricks around the ship to give you the upper hand in your battle. Remember, when playing multiplayer, things can get crazy. You could have teammates helping you out doing their own mission, or a player in the game might be a traitor and sabotage you. This added element of surprise will make you much more calculated and cautious in your decision making. Again, this game just came out June 15th. It's going to be in early access for a short period of time. Right now, there's a special 20% off promotion on Steam for the next week for new players. The studio behind this game, Awaken Realms, has had a long track record of crowdfunding and early access games. They take this process super seriously. They listen to all of the feedback you guys have, use that to improve the game with every single update, with the goal of making the best game they can. Nemesis Distress will constantly be evolving with new and better content that it already has in the game, so be sure to check it out, guys. It's a super fun game, really unique. The graphics are sick as well. Just a lot of stuff going here. The atmosphere. Links will be down below in the description and in a pinned comment to check Nemesis Distress out today. Now, going back to the video, credible leaker Ralph gave us a bunch of new info on MW2's multiplayer, a bunch of the gameplay, movement systems, features, details, a lot of cool stuff here. We're going to go right into this. So, with Modern Warfare 2's launch fast approaching, some questions remain. What strides are Infinity Ward taking to make Modern Warfare 2 a fresh experience? Similar to its predecessor, Infinity Ward plans to refine its parkour system, drawing inspiration from Mirror's Edge Catalyst, as well as the introduction of all new features and mechanics. Here's the scoop. With Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer map sticking to a more tight and hard-lined approach to level design, players will be able to meddle with these mechanics in Warzone 2, putting these new features to the test in a larger, more variable playground, using the environment to your advantage. Now, for the movement section here, a bunch of different changes and some returning features here. We have ladders and ropes. With ladders, you'll be able to vertically position the equipment alongside walls, containers, and buildings, though if not supported, it will fall and shatter, causing the field upgrade to reset. So I could see this being really good, but also really bad. Of course, this goes for Warzone and multiplayer, but more concerning for MP. Let's say you have someone camping on the top level of some building, and you have two ways to get to that top level. You could go through the building, through the first floor, and up the stairs, or you could go up a ladder in the front of the building and then go straight through the window. So what could happen here is that you could have this guy camping up there, placing different equipment and field upgrades up the side of that ladder, which maybe you can't see, and then it's just going to enhance his camping experience and make him more kind of, not invincible, but more secure in that camping spot. For MP, that's a bit more annoying than I would want it to be. For Warzone, maybe it's more strategic and it's actually kind of better there. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it right now. Overall, it definitely sounds pretty interesting. You know, let me know down below your opinions on that. For ropes now, you'll be able to rappel down and scale up buildings with this tool. Whilst rappelling, players can also swing through windows or into collapsed walls. Super cool there. You could also attach the rope to vehicles and players, allowing for a quick getaway for downed players. That sounds really sick, honestly. So again, we'll see how that works in the actual game. Pretty cool there. Now we have shifting and strafing. Strafing lets you move sideways in any direction as well as backwards. Say you get too close to a threat, or you turn a corner where you're at a disadvantage, you can shift out of the area to clear some space and get a better view of your options and surroundings. Now, again, I may be thinking a bit too much into this, but the first thing I think of when I look at shifting and strafing, I think back to Advanced Warfare's movement system, where you could go and shift and strafe to the right, forwards, backwards, wherever you want to go. It was super simple there, and then obviously it's not going to be like that. Advanced Warfare, you had the exosuit, and it was a bit more fluid there, honestly. It was a lot faster. It's not going to be like that in MW2's multiplayer, but again, I'm interested to see how much you'll actually be able to shift and strafe in different directions. If it's very minor and very slight, not a big deal, and maybe it's a good new feature, but if it's super crazy, then I don't know, maybe it's a little too crazy. I don't know. We'll see what happens very soon. Another movement feature here, we have the wall climb. Players will be able to vertically clamber up walls. This feature is determined by the height of the platform you're trying to reach and mount. Now, I could see this as some type of thing where, you mantle onto some bigger structure. So in the past, if the structure was too high up, you just couldn't mantle. But maybe now, if it's slightly above where the mantle limit is, you'll be able to do a quick climb and then actually mantle. I don't see that being a big deal, honestly. I think that's pretty cool. And again, some of these movement features might be more common in certain parts of Warzone than they are for MW2's multiplayer. So I could see maybe some sections of the MP map being able to climb up a bit higher, which doesn't really seem like a big deal to me. It seems pretty cool. Warzone, it seems really cool there. Makes more sense for that, but we'll see what happens very soon. But overall, pretty cool feature there. We have ledge hanging, which they actually talked about. You'll be able to hang off and grab onto ledges. Call of Duty's newest mechanic that allows players to reach for impracticable platforms, also reduces fall damage. Very interesting. Players will be able to use their own sidearm whilst the ledge hanging. So also pretty cool. Again, I'm trying to think on how this might be abused. I really don't know for sure. Again, we'll see when we play the actual beta for MP if it's really prevalent. For Warzone, again, this seems a bit more cooler. I could see certain scenarios where this makes sense and this could be a cool little feature. But sometimes, you guys know how it is. Call of Duty, they have these new little features here, and it seems really crazy and overpowered, but it ends up, not really being used by too many people. So we'll just see what happens. Another one here, pretty common, sliding. Sliding has been since revised, apparently, allowing for players to now slide into a prone position as well as angled inclines and slopes. So very interesting there. We'll see how that works. We also have bunny hopping. Bunny hopping is dependent on the height a player falls from. The greater the height, the more speed boost you will gain onto your bunny hop. Pretty cool there. Now we have some gameplay features. These are pretty sick. First up, we have Exigency Hip Fire, Quick Sidearm Draw, a feature that allows you to quickly switch to your sidearm with one hand. This can also be done with lethals. Pretty cool there. We have a Suppressor Meter. You can change the size of suppressors, and depending on the size, it'll affect recoil, damage, and ranges. Pretty cool there. There will exist a meter that players will be able to mess with and find their balance, and this is like this for other attachments as well, not just the suppressor. And I think it's pretty sick, honestly. Some people might say it's a bit too confusing and it's just too much going on, too many attachments overall, too many variables here, but I feel like it's pretty cool being able to change and fine-tune the suppressor to your liking. That sounds pretty cool. We'll see what ends up happening. Maybe it is too confusing. Next thing here, weapon handling grips. An operator will have the option of choosing between a set of different tactical handlings and techniques. This can affect the accuracy and speed of a weapon. Some examples include the magwell grip and C-clamp grip. Pretty cool stuff there. Next thing here, we have magazine check animation. For modes with limited heads-up display HUD, you'll be able to inspect a weapon's magazine count. That's kind of cool. And finally, we have reticle ammunition count. New design where reticles display a weapon's ammo count seen with revolvers and shotguns. These refined and renewed mechanics will give fans a new learning curve that will allow players to effectively interact with, practice, and master stringing together unfamiliar gameplay features. So again, overall, some pretty cool stuff there. Some big changes to movement and, gameplay features for MW2's multiplayer. Again, a lot of this stuff will be brought over to, Warzone 2 as well. Some of these features are, I'm not going to say gimmicky, but until we actually play the game, we'll see if they'll actually be useful. I would rather them, not be as useful than be super overpowered. But who knows? Maybe they can be integrated well into the actual normal gameplay system of, MW2 and Warzone 2. We'll see very soon. Let me know down below a couple of these, one or two of these that you're really hyped for. Also, let me know what you're not hyped for. I'm interested to see, a lot of you guys are probably going to leave comments if these are super crazy, you don't like these whatsoever, and how these are going to play potentially in MP and Warzone. A lot of you guys have pretty strong opinions on this here, so always leave your opinions, your constructive criticism for, what we're talking about for MW2 and Warzone 2 down below. They're still, developing and making the game. It's pretty much done. But if there's a huge outcry for a certain feature, then maybe they could change it up a little bit. Now, we're not going to know for sure, as I said, until we actually play the game, because these features, gameplay, movement systems, these changes may sound bad, they may sound really good, but we're not going to know how they actually play and how it actually affects our gameplay until we actually get to play the game and test out these features ourselves. So the end of this August, we'll be able to play Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. We'll probably be checking out a bunch of these features here, and we'll see what happens with Warzone. Probably will be end of this year, early next year. We'll see how that works. But until then, all we could really do is talk about the info we're getting and kind of make predictions if it sounds good, if it sounds bad, you know, based on what we saw for the past Call of Duties and stuff like that. But we're not going to know for sure until we actually get to play the game, and that should be very soon. Now, let me know down below other stuff you want to see for MW2's multiplayer in general. We will get more info on the maps. Of course, this was leaked a while back, and Ralph has been mentioning this. I mean, he did this at the beginning of the article, pretty much saying that we're going to have maps that are a lot more tight and refined, and most of the MW 2019 DLC maps will be taken as inspiration. Those maps were not really just smaller, but, you know, had better, more clearer designs. And I'm not saying they should completely get rid of all of the crazy, large, and intricate MW 2019 base maps that some people did really love. You know, great for SND, great for other, you know, larger type game modes. They should still have variety, but having most of the 6v6 maps in specific to be more of that, you know, semi 3-lane classical style and just smaller IW based maps, maybe maps we saw back with MW2, MW3, you know, going more in that direction is what I like to see, what I want to see, and it seems like they're doing that. And I want to get more information. I want to hear more information on what those maps are really going to be like, how they're going to play. We don't have that just yet. We can make our inferences, but, you know, right now, we just don't know for sure. So if Ralph gives us some more information, an article on the actual map design and the maps themselves, we will for sure talk about that. For now, all of this info on the gameplay and movement system and stuff like that, it all sounds pretty cool. So this is definitely good info. And of course, IW will officially go through this stuff and explain this in depth with some, you know, supporting background gameplay for this big MW2 multiplayer reveal, which we'll talk about soon. That should be probably the end of July, early August. You know, again, we'll talk about that. They'll probably officially announce that at some point very soon. But until then, just have to wait and see. So that's it for this video. Of course, subscribe for more MW2, Warzone 2, news, leak, reveal, info videos like this. Really do appreciate the support, guys. We're getting close to 94K on the channel, so thank you so much for that. There are 2 other videos up on screen that may interest you, so be sure to check one of them out. Real do appreciate, guys. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.